We just got back from seeing The Walls with the Clock in its house. We just got back from seeing The Clock with the House and its walls. We just got back from seeing The Walls with the House and the... Is it the House and the Clock?
Okay.
The Clock and the House. The Clock and the House and the... Okay. The Clock with the House and its walls.
All right. Okay. The house.
The house.
With the clock.
With the clock.
In its walls.
In its walls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Got it?
I think so. The Walls with the Clock in its house.
We'll be right back.
Hi folks, welcome back to Pop Pop Fizzle. I'm Jeff.
I'm Heidi.
And we are here with our non-spoiler review for the new film, The House with the Clock in its Walls.
Yes.
Nailed it! This movie stars Jack Black, Cate Blanchett, along with quite a few other people. I did not get the little boy's name.
Neither did I.
Yeah, you'd think I would, because he was kind of the main character.
Yeah, I think there were some V's in his last name.
Yes.
Sorry.
But we reacted, I think, at one point to one of those trailers.
Yes.
For this film, and it looked interesting. As we sat in the theater today, and the movie started up. Well, first of all, let's discuss our disappointment.
Huge disappointment right off the bat.
Not with this film.
Not with the film. However, there was some commercials that played before some movies that we had seen earlier. This, like in the last couple months, saying that a totally redone for IMAX video for Michael Jackson's Thriller was supposed to be playing in front of all IMAX versions of this movie.
We did not get that.
No. Severely disappointed. I don't know what happened. I know that we did wait a little bit for our popcorn, but I wouldn't think that they would put that
No, they wouldn't have put it before the trailers.
Before the trailers. It would have been between the trailers and the movie, and it didn't happen.
So AMC, why you no love us?
Severely disappointed.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why we saw this in IMAX, because
Sure.
I can't imagine what the improvements for seeing this in IMAX would be.
Yeah, because we didn't see it. It wasn't like in 3D or anything.
No.
It was just standard IMAX, which is always fun, but
Yeah.
still nothing about the movie necessarily warranted it.
No.
So we really went hoping to see Michael Jackson's Thriller, and we were totally denied.
Didn't get to.
Yeah.
Denied.
Okay,
Very
now
sad.
let's get to the movie itself. Now, if you've seen the trailer for this movie, then you know that it seems like sort of family fare with a little bit of, spectacular sort of setup.
Yeah, sort of like Harry Potter-ish, but not as organized as Hogwarts.
It reminded me a lot of the Goosebumps movie that Jack Black was also in, which is interesting because there's a sequel to that coming out and he's not in that. So I'm not sure how this ended up happening, but what I thought was interesting as we sat in the theater, and I even kind of nudged you, the screenplay for this film was done by Eric Kripke. If you're a fan of the TV series Supernatural, that name would be familiar to you. He was the showrunner on that show for quite a while. And we stopped watching Supernatural quite a while ago just because in the mix of everything else that we watch, it just kind of got lost in the shuffle.
Not that we dislike it.
Right,
not that we won't binge it at some point.
Right, but Eric Kripke was a big part, certainly, of, as far as being the creator of that show and the first showrunner for that show. Before moving on to other things. So he handled the screenplay for this, which is adapted from a story. And then the other weird sort of thing for this is that the film was directed by Eli Roth. If you're not familiar with Eli Roth, he's mainly known for horror films that are much more adult fare and, lots of blood, lots of gore. So, very strange choice for director for this film, which kind of had me questioning what we were going to get.
Well, does he have kids?
I do not know this.
Okay, so if he, maybe he nieces, nephews, some sort of little people in his life, maybe he wanted to direct a movie they could actually watch.
Yeah. That's that's sort of the story. I'm going to forget the actor's name now that I need to think of it. The actor who played Aragorn in the Lord of the Rings films.
Oh, Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo Mortensen, thank you. Viggo Mortensen said that the reason he took that job was because his son was a big fan of the books and was like, Dad, you got to take that part when it came up. and it made him a household name throughout those films. So and I can't imagine those films without him.
No.
So sometimes that's a good move to listen to the kids.
Yeah.
So we don't know if that's what happened with Eli Roth, or if he just wanted to expand his horizons.
Yeah, do something different.
Either way, we weren't really sure going in what we were going to get. I hadn't been so bowled over by the trailers that I felt like I had to see it. But we had a chance to go see it tonight, which is, technically the film opens tomorrow, but there were a few shows tonight, so we popped over to see that, so we can get this review up for you and let you know what we think about it. So, Heidi, what were your thoughts?
I thought it was really well done. I mean, I too was not completely bowled over. I mean, I am completely ignorant of the actual story it was based on. We were leaving the theater. I'm like, was it a story, a book series? We just don't know. So like always, we don't really do a whole lot of research. We didn't necessarily want to be spoiled either. So but I feel like the characters that we focused on were well developed. I felt like it was well acted. I felt like it was really fun to watch. There's a lot of interesting things to look at. I'm sure if we were to watch it again, we'd see some stuff that we missed the first time. So it was, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought a lot of strength came from the actors in this particular film.
Cate Blanchett was awesome.
Cate Blanchett was awesome because she has that sort of lightness to her in this role, and in a lot of roles. There's a real sort of grace that she brings to things. But this movie, there were a few times where, aside from the comedic sort of tones between her and Jack Black's character, that there was a moment or two where she needed to bring some emotion, whether it was anger or sorrow or whatever, and she of course nailed it because she's Cate Blanchett.
Yeah.
And similarly, Jack Black I usually enjoy in just about everything, but what I like about him in this is that when the film starts, we don't know a whole lot about his character, and there's enough of an edge to him that you don't know whether he's on the up and up or not, and you don't know kind of how his character's going to go. You get that he kind of genuinely is trying to do right by the child involved. If you've seen the trailer, you know that the child comes to live with his uncle who doesn't know. Jack Black is the uncle, and so, the trailer had set all that up, but I didn't know really, is the story that we're hearing from these characters true, or is there a twist coming, or whatever. So Jack Black has enough of a mystery about him that, you can believe that he could be sinister, but you also can believe that he might be on the up and up, and I like that.
Yeah.
That he doesn't play it solidly one way or another until the story progresses to the point where you can feel and land on the spot. Yeah,
make a good assessment at that
exactly.
time.
The young actor who plays the boy in this particular film, I thought his performance was solid as well.
Yeah. Good kid actor.
Yeah, much more so than a lot that I see. It wasn't ham-fisted or. It was a quirky part. He played it well, and it fit with the feel and the tone of everything else.
Yes.
I thought it was directed well. I didn't see anything that stood out to me as being awkward or or poorly handled on the direction front.
No, absolutely not. I felt like it was, there wasn't anything that I was like, that took me out of the movie that made me feel like, whoa, why did they do that? There wasn't anything really there that made me feel that way. So.
Now, we would caution that this is a family-friendly film. There were a few curse words in it, not beyond, primetime television, network television. So nothing to fear there necessarily. However, there were a few parts in this film that were, depending on your own child and their sensitivity to such things, might be frightening.
Yeah.
We discussed that a little bit on the way home, whether we thought our children would be frightened of this film or not, or moments of it might be too frightening for them.
I felt like there's probably a scene that doesn't necessarily add a whole lot to the movie, but would be really frightening. A couple of them, we could, you could. If you're that type of parent, you watch it ahead of time. Make sure you know what your children.
Because nobody knows your child the way that you do.
Right.
You know what will frighten them and what won't. So I would say use your best judgment.
And then skip over it and tell them what happened.
Right.
They don't have to see it because it was. I mean, it can be pretty frightening, especially if it's on a big screen. So you may want to just kind of take them to the bathroom at that point or something.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Or just talk to them up front and remind them that these things are make believe and whatnot, and maybe that's enough to do it. So your child, you handle that the way that you see fit. Now, the way that we normally rate films here on our channel is either something's a fizzle, which means, don't waste your time, don't bother. We've seen not a few of those that we've talked about here, but we've certainly seen plenty of those in our lifetime. Or it's a pop, which means it's definitely worth seeing, not necessarily spending the big money to go see it at the theater, but maybe watching it on streaming or renting it from a Redbox, not a sponsor, but those sorts of things, there's plenty of those, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with something, as far as we're concerned anyway, being a pop. You should definitely see it. You just don't have to rush out and see it on the big screen. And then there's the double pop, which is, definitely stop what you're doing, pick up some tickets, go see this thing now while it's on the big screen. Definitely worth your time and your dollars to do that. So, on that scale of things, Heidi, how does The House with a Clock in Its Walls land for you?
Okay, so this definitely lands as a pop for me. I felt like I said, it was fun, it was well acted, well directed, everything was really pretty, but I mean, the way that this movie is and how it actually is laid out, there's not really anything that benefits, like we said, from being on IMAX, being on a big screen. I did not feel like I gained anything or it was enhanced by seeing things on the big screen. So I enjoyed it greatly, but I don't really, if you want to wait for it to come out on something so you can watch it at home and possibly watch it ahead of your kids, that would be best for it. And I think a pop is perfect for it.
Sure. I'm going to land there as well. Not because I don't think that this was fun to see on the big screen. It certainly was. I don't feel like I wasted my money seeing it. Although I wouldn't have seen it in IMAX if I hadn't thought I would, if I thought I wouldn't get to see Michael Jackson. But, definitely I enjoyed my time in the theater. I would say, though, that probably because it's such a family-friendly movie and kind of a fun adventure story, it's kind of one of those things where I think people, once they have it on Blu-ray or streaming, will watch it several times. You know, that their kids will like certain scenes or whatever and watch them on repeat or watch them several times. And, it's that kind of movie, similar to like the Harry Potter things or whatever. And so I definitely think it's that. Now, I don't think that if you and your family love these kinds of films, then it may be the double pop for you. We're just giving you sort of our opinion about where we land there. For me, I think it would have worked just as well streaming it on my big screen television in the other room. But I didn't hate that we got to see it.
No, definitely not.
And I certainly thought it was a fun ride. I just don't think there was anything as far as visually epic that required the big screen to appreciate it or to enjoy it. So for me, it's going to be a pop as well. I did want to say one other thing, kind of in favor of this film, because I really did enjoy the film.
This was a lot of fun.
One of the things I wanted to say was that, there's this underlying message throughout the adventure and everything that's going on of about being different and that being okay. And we get a lot of those. We get a lot of films that try to beat us over the head with those kinds of things. I thought this was handled really well. Yeah. It wasn't too over the top. It wasn't too ham-fisted. It was just nicely done, showing us that it's okay to be smart. And if being smart makes you a little bit different, that's fine. You'll eventually find people that appreciate that. And so I really liked that sort of little underlying theme there. I thought it worked well, and I thought it was handled well. So I appreciate. So if they were to do a sequel to this film, then certainly I would be willing to give it some time. To see these characters again. I did enjoy my time with them. Yes. And if they don't, it's handled well, and it tells a satisfactory story in this film in and of itself. So either way, I think they did a good job. Yeah. If Eli Roth chooses to do more family-friendly fare, then I probably would give that another shot as well. Yeah. So anyway, those are our thoughts on this particular film. If you've seen it, then certainly jump into the comments and let us know what you think. Be careful about spoilers, just because some people may be watching this video that have not seen it yet. So be sure and give a spoiler tag or a spoiler warning before you discuss it in any detail. If you haven't seen the film yet, are you interested? Is this something that you plan to take your kids or just just go yourself because you enjoy these kinds of films, let us know that in the comments below as well. If you like this video,
hit that thumbs up.
and be sure to share it with a friend. We love it when you share our stuff via Facebook or Twitter or wherever you share it. It helps us get the word out about our channel and for new people to find us, so we always appreciate that.
Yeah.
And if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please consider doing that. That helps our little channel to grow. And if you're already subscribed to the channel, then be sure to hit that bell icon so that YouTube can let you know the next time we drop something. And we got a few more things coming up.
Yeah.
Some trailer reactions, some more things. Things and stuff. And possibly some more movie reviews. We're going to put that A-list to work for us and see if we get, not a sponsor, we're going to see if we can take advantage of that and go see some things and get these reviews up as quickly as we can for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for us. Until next time, folks.
Bye.
Bye.